everyone. My name is Tito Ibeleme. I am the owner and head makeup artist at Alumni Beauty, and I happen to be an alumni of House of Tara Makeup School. I started doing makeup professionally, I think, in 2011. And the journey has been good. It hasn't been the easiest, especially with convincing my parents that this is the career path I've chosen. And, after doing and studying 2 degrees. But the moment they got onto the bandwagon, it was pretty much easy for me. So I've always had a flair for makeup. I had already started doing makeup in school back then in uni, in my state university. When I was done with school, I started, taking on clients one after the other. But then at the time, it was a big deal to be certified. So the question used to be, where did you train? You're not trained, do you have a certificate? So I then thought, okay, if it's a big deal, then why not I go to makeup school, have them guide me, have a certificate and all of that. And I remember searching for a couple of makeup schools and I saw House of Tara. And I was like, okay. I liked that there was a structure. I liked that it was very informative. Everything I wanted to know was on their website, so it wasn't hard. And I also liked that at the time they were offering I think you were allowed to pay part payment. So that was easier to approach my mom with and say, okay, you don't have to pay this huge sum immediately. You can pay this and then pay later. And yeah, she eventually agreed after a lot of persuasion. And here I am. After House of Tara, after school, I like to say my confidence was built in the sense that, okay, I had a certificate from one of the biggest brands in Nigeria. And, I had guidance. And I think after my class, I was chosen to do a Rise Fashion show with House of Tara, and that was an amazing time for me because I got to see a lot, I got to experience a lot. I think that was a very good platform for me to start on, and the journey since then has been great. I'm sure I've been able to make the school proud. I wouldn't say I've carried the Tara brand, I haven't really carried the Tara brand. It's when the question comes up that people then realize, oh, she went to House of Tara. Because back then, House of Tara, I think with teaching, there was a specific way makeup had to be done. And I was one of those students who didn't think that way. So when I was done with House of Tara, I was doing makeup differently, even though I still went with the basics that was taught. How has House of Tara affected my business? I think just the structure, thinking of how there were tutors, everybody was nice, everybody was cordial. There was, everything started at the time it was supposed to start. All of that, helped to structure my business now. Because when I think of it, I'm like, okay, this is something I want to, have in my own business. My advice would be, as much as a lot of people like to say now that they are self-taught, House of Tara contributed a lot to my journey. My advice to upcoming makeup artists would be, look for a school, look for a school to guide you, because right now a lot of people like to say I'm self-taught, but you can still see the disarray in the way they manage their business and the way they manage their, makeup career. House of Tara did a lot for me in the sense that, I then knew this is how to do bridal, this is how to approach your brides, this is how to approach your clients, this is how to do engagements. All of that, there was a structure to this is how things were done, especially in Nigeria. Take your time, learn. There's no, like a baby won't be born and start running. So, take your baby steps. and eventually you get there. I didn't believe that by now I'll be, one of the makeup artists or the only makeup artist in Nigeria to have done makeup for Vogue magazine. But I would say that I've taken my journey. It's been a step-by-step approach, and thanks to House of Tara for starting that step for me.